that recording, right? Okay, good morning, everyone. It's really nice to see you guys again here. So we have over 30 people online and still some people in the office. So by the way, this is the second topic regarding commercial real estate. Last week, we did the commercial leasing. We have also over 30 people attended. And a lot of people came back to call me and say, David, it's a nice topic. So they learned something from commercial leasing last week. So today we'll be talking about commercial real estate. Number 2 is for sales. That's a commercial property for sales. So commercial properties for sale will be regarding the real estate property and some other investment and euro, whatever. So we call about commercial real estate for sale. And next week, we're talking about commercial real estate for topic number 3, maybe for sales of small business, like convenience store, coffee shop, and the restaurant we're talking about next week. So I hope there'll be more people coming to attend the session next week. Okay, let's do today's section, commercial real estate for sale. I will go quickly for the slides for maybe 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that theoretically that the process we're going to do, and as a listing agent, as a buyer's agent, what you need to know, what you need to do, and what kind of forms you needed. And again, and also evaluation approach, what approach you can use for the commercial sales. So after that, I will go into online, go into MLS to start from searching and find some property and see what the price, how they determine for the pricing. And we do the offer as well afterwards. So we see how do you prepare the offer, what condition, what clause you needed for the offer as well. So let's go through quickly for the slides. So just a second. Okay. Let's moving on. And as you see, we so far in our brokerage, we have a lot of people from time to time doing the commercial real estate. So the people will sometimes call me, call Sammy, call Tony, even Scott. They say, oh, I got a client looking for commercial property. So you have to make sure you know what kind of commercial property you're looking for. That's important, right? So that basically I will talking about quickly and say, if the buyer or your listing agent, if you sell some commercial property, or if your clients ask you to buy some commercial property, then make sure that what their client's requirement, they want to buy for own use or they want to buy for investment. So for end user, for investor, so sometimes the process is some slightly different. Of course, generally speaking, the will be the same process. And the only difference will be what forms you can use, how do you deal with your client, for seller, for the buyer. So you need to know the whole process. Okay, so I will go quickly about it. So as I talked about just now already, for end user, you have to make sure that what their use they're looking for. They open for new business, they want to go carry on this existing business, or they want to do something like a new setup. Or a lot of people say, oh, I want to open up my own business. That's a different thing, right? And also you make sure some buyers will ask you, oh, David, I want to buy some commercial property for my own use. What their expectation, what kind of the properties they're looking for, and that's really important, right? So for the list, for investors, of course, they need so far the best they want to do. This is asking the pricing in the property, say $1 million, $2 million, but you make sure that for investor, they want to know what the return will be possible. So they're looking for, if they don't make money, so what you are going to do. So that's important. So For investors, that's process will be different. So that's the way you have make, again, as I say, so you have determined your client, what kind of client you need, right? They are looking for, what is the property they're looking for, and what is expectation. Those kind of thing is very important. So some people say we are investing. Some people say, some investors that say we are just speculating the market. Investing, gambling, you have to make sure that what kind of client they're looking for. And again, there's some criteria you have to know. No matter what end user or the investor, they have to make sure that the property is good for them, right? And they need to know how the long-term purpose, how do you appreciate it, how do you get the cash flow, right? They have to make sure that what the really they need to do about it. So, of course, everyone wants to make money, but you need how to save the money, right? Not only make money, you need to save the money. What to save money? Tax benefit. So that's something you need to tell the client, right? So I will not talk about so much in the details. And always the market. So a lot of people say, why we have to be investors for investors? Let's say they want to buy something, commercial property for long term. Where they're going to buy? Toronto, out of town, or in Ontario or some other city. You make sure you know the market. So again, it's a lot of issue, a lot of things we need to know about in the market. So it's not the easy job for us. So you need to do the homework there, right? And for commercial property, again, last week I said to all our agents. So it's different from residential. In residential, normally it's for closing a deal, buy a property, you only need a lawyer, you need an inspector, you need an insurance broker, bank, lender, those kind of things, right? But in commercial property, there are more specialists involved. Not only realtor, like agent, helping your clients. You need, again, you need a lawyer, right? For sure. You need accountant, not like residential. You need accountant. How did you evaluate, how to review the financial statements? So a lot is, of course, commercial, you need a mortgage, business loan, right? You need a banker, you need a lender to help you as well. And in addition, of course, insurance broker and inspector. The inspector, not like home inspector, let's have the commercial inspector. They have a different way to inspect the property, right? Again, you maybe need an architect, you need a planner, you need a lot of other specialists to do that. And of course, when you buy a commercial property, like say for end user or whatever, you need a contractor to do a leasehold improvement, you need a renovation. So those kind of things you make sure you need a lot of people around you, not only yourself, all right? And at the beginning, I already said that if you're representing a buyer, you need the same way like your residential agent. You need to qualify your buyer, make sure that what kind of client and you have, what their requirements, what their expectation, and again, what their budget. Let's say you want to buy property for a long term, but you need to know what is their budget in their mind. $1 million, 2 million. So like a few years ago, my clients said, I'm looking for a hotel, 7, 8 million, right? So some people are looking for 10 million, over 10. I saw one of our agents, 23 million commercial property. So you have to make sure what their budget. They have already, can they afford it or not? Do they already pre-approved by the banker or not? So those kind of things you have to know. So otherwise, you don't need to waste your time. I remember one time, few years, 10 years ago, or 5, 6 years, maybe, one of our agents in Mississauga said, David, I got a client. They're looking for 20 million, 1 billion or 2 billion property. I said, did you qualify them? She said, no, they came from out of country. But you make sure if they're ready, they have the fund are ready, they have all the funds to Canada in a bank account already. So in that way, you can maybe say, you can help this. They're already motivated. They have already have the budget. Otherwise, you waste your time because it's a lot of people shopping around, right? You don't need to do that, right? Of course, the same thing like a residential property. When you look for commercial property, location, 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 always, not only for residential, for commercial as well. Depend on what kind of use, as I said. So if they're looking for some investment, of course, maybe downtown core, wherever, right? Some even some high traffic location for sure. So those kind of things you have to know. Some people say, I don't care about the location. I just want to see the cap rate. So I need the money, cash flow. That's another thing, right? Even the cash flow, still that it depends on location. So otherwise, how can you buy the property? Just, the slow traffic, not much activities there. So how can you make money from the property there, right? So those kind of things you, as a buyer agent, you need to know about it. And of course, if you are the listing agent, there's a different ways that you have to make sure qualify the seller. I think I did this one training last year about the same like residential, right? The people say, David, I want to sell my property. You have to make sure qualify the seller. Why you want to sell it, right? What's the situation? You have to see motivated. Some people say relocation, or some people say my mortgage is coming close soon, or I have to I cannot afford it for the payment, whatever. A lot of is to make sure qualify the seller first. Otherwise, you don't want to waste your time there, right? So before you list a property for sale, not only the listing agent or even the buy agent. So that's why I will share with everyone here. So when you do the pricing, the adjustment for listing or for buying, you need to know why the listing price, how much will it be. The people, the seller always will ask you, how much I can sell my property. So you need to know, how do you evaluate the property, right? You make sure there's some approach I can share with you here quickly. So before we go into really on MLS, so I will tell you three approach we have to see them. Number one, so we call it comparable. What do you mean comparable? Comparable, same thing like residential, right? When you sell residential property, let's say this is the location at C15, C14, let's say this house, 4-bedroom, double garage, the lot size 50 by 120. So you find exactly the same listing. We call it comparable. So comparable means apple to apple, orange to orange. That way you find out the pricing. So that's the same thing like in downtown, right? The properties sell the 3,000 square foot for retail purpose, and they have a rental there. So you will see, oh, the sales 3,000 square foot, they sell for up $2 million. So your listing will be compared with that one. Some people say, oh, David, I never see that this area, never sold anything. What you can do? I said, check the neighborhood. Same street, even not same street, second street, next street. You find the last street, 6 months, 1 year. Even no, not at all, even last year, nothing in the area. You check it 2 years back, 3 years back. So you find a similar property, right? So you will see in this area, let's say last 3 years, sold only one. You can, 3 years ago, sold it. Then you can find out what the percentage increase in this area. Then you add every year 3%, you will see more or less that will be comparable. So number one, that's called approach comparable. Second approach, we call it cost approach. What the cost approach? People, I think a few years ago, the people always ask me, David, I want to buy this warehousing. At that time, I think the warehousing about $250, $300 per square foot. And so people say, I want to see how much will be. There's nothing comparable what you can do. Okay, you see build how the warehouse, what's the cost will be. The same thing like residential. So residential, so far that the cost for build the house around 300, 350 per square foot. So in this way, you will see this warehouse, this office building, let's say 3,000 square foot or 5,000, you see at every square foot the cost you can make out. That's about approximate pricing, right? So that's a number two we call the cost approach. If you don't know anything about cost, you can talk to some architect, planner. Some architect will tell you, oh, nowadays the market price will be whatever pricing per square foot. So that's the one you can do about it. Okay. So the second one, cost approach. This one will be for agent, maybe not so easy because we are not specialized in cost. Right? So you have to find out some specialists to help you. That's the way. No. So the number three approach, that's very common. That's always a banker, the lender, they use. This is called a cap rate. Cap rate, that means capitalization rate. Some people, they say return on investment. So some other way. So normally we go to cap rate. That means in this area, let's say downtown Toronto, downtown core, commercial property cap rate is around 3%, 4%. So you go by the cap rate, then you can get the pricing, what pricing is good. So as a listing agent, you can do that way. As a buy agent, again, you can do the same way, right? So the people asking, David asked for $2 million there. What pricing I can give them? I will tell you the buy agent, you talk to the listing agent, what their gross rental income, what their operating cost, what's the net income. So based on the net income, you can work out what's cap rate. So the cap rate in this area may be only 4% less. Some other area, I remember that the out of town in like say Peterborough, some other 7% cap rate, some other London, Ontario, 6 something, or even Waterloo is 5 to 6, some place like even 8%. So in that way, you work out backward to find out what's the pricing is good for you. A listing agent for how to listen the pricing, for the buy agent say, I can help my client pricing. So that's called a cap rate. We go quickly later to see it on MLS. Some listing you will see if you can find something so you can work out the price, okay? So the three, again, I already talked about just now already, three approaches. So as I said, if they did not find anything in the area in last 6 months, so do the same location, maybe close to the property, subject property, or you can go by last year, the year before, and go one after another. So in this way, you can do your evaluation for the property, all right? So that's really a kind of complicated. So if you need time, you have to work out your way, right? That's the thing. And already talked about the three approach already. So let's see that the one formula for cap rate, as what is said, that is a common one. So how to calculate the cap rate? So normally we said the annual net income divided by the purchase price, you work out what's cap rate. But important is how do you find out the cap rate in the area? You need to do a lot of research. You see, as again, as I said, downtown core, Toronto, maybe 3 to 4%. Some better one, 4.5%. And out of town, even from, you need to do research. Find out the recent or last year's cap rate in the area. So also as the listing agent, if you want to list the price, or make sure the buyer agent can work with you, you need to know the property, what the income they're making, the gross income, annual income. You need to make sure, break down all the rental income, whatever income there. Then you have to see what cost to maintain to every month. So you need to, like building insurance, property tax and other utility, what you need get the list, what the cost will be there. So in this way, you work out in the end what's the net income they have. So based on the net income, then you work out the cap rate. So that sorry. So that's the way you work out the cap rate to get the pricing for your client. So we, again, as I say, we go to some MLS listing, so we can see if some listing agent do some showing something there or not. So if something they don't list out in the listing, you as a buy agent, you need to ask, you need to contact listing agent to verify the list. So make sure you make that you get the net income, you can easily work out the pricing to bring your offer there, right? So that's the formula. Remember, net income divided by purchase price. You can do the cap rate. So again, people sometimes say operating income multiplied by cap rate, you can find out the asking price or listing price or your offering price, okay? So we do the search soon. We see as a listing agent, as buy agent, what normally you need to do the forms basically, right? I will not touch too much in the details because a lot of issue here. And so I will not go one by one. If you have some question, you need something, please let me know. I can share some slides for you later on, so we'll find out that way. So the only thing I need to advise everyone here, the listing agent, you need a package. So the package will be listing agreement. You need to have the old form 520. So nowadays, I think 571, something 572 that's already updated. And that three form with 596 on the 595. So you check the update one. So this one already the old forms I use here. Again, as the seller, so you need to get the seller to see the form 631 for sure. And also as the seller, if under the corporation, so you need also get the seller's ID, personal ID 630 form, you need that as well. And then nowadays, so working with realtor is already out of the date, so it's not used. So you will use recall info guide. Okay, you need that form as well. So I will not explain every forms here. You can check the package. As a buy agent, so you will see you have more forms to fill out, right? So normally we go as an offer 500 or use another form 501, 502. There are a lot of forms you can use there as well. You have the schedule there also. The schedule you can use whatever schedule according to the package there, right? So nowadays, again, you need to sign a BIA. BIA 540 is gone already. Again, you need a sort of 570 something, 572 or whatever, the BIA you need as well. And the form, of course, 320 is still the same 320. And the form 815 is gone. We need to use the recall info guide there as well. And again, for buyer, if they buy for themselves, no matter by themselves or buy as a corporation, you need a form 630 and 631 as well. Also, later on, you probably need the receipt of funds, the 635, you need that as well, right? So those are kind of forms at the buy agent. You can check our office website and all the package as a listing, as buyer, also all it is there. And of course, when you go to what form, when you create a transaction, no matter for listing or for buyer, all the forms also there created for you, right? So here the offer what should be in the offer, whatever there. So again, I will not touch it now because we don't have much time to do that. We do the sample. When we do the MLS section, we get one property. We quickly do the offer go through in 10 minutes or whatever, so we can know what's the process, what's for a condition, what terms will be there. So we look at that afterward. Okay. So other issue, a lot of things here, I will not touch anything here. Let's go to MLS searching to do the real work. That's why I said this we do the real work for today. And how do you do the searching? How do you prepare the offer? What terms, conditions will be the offer as well. Let's move on to MLS. Okay, let's stop this slide. Again, if you want something about this slide, let me know. I can get you the PDF and to have a quick look as well. Okay, let's stop this one. Let's go to just a second. Share a new one. We can MS. Oh. Also not working properly for me. Hmm. Lost my screen. It's not my computer. I wish I use my own computer better. Let's say MLS. Hi, Yi, can you come to help me? I cannot share my screen here because that's office. I can't get my screen. Yi, can you come to help me then? Let me see. 啊，放哪里？我的 MS 那个，对啊，打开了柜子了。Chat. I'm on MS, the screen. Yeah, MS, I cannot get on there.原来是最上面的了，怎么没出看见？
你给关了吧？刚才
因为没有关了，
对你关过了，
关过了，从那开始。
你得重新登录一下。
Okay, can you share now? Sorry about it, guys. MLS. I wish I used mine. Okay, let's log in MLS. So the same way you do residential when you do use, right? So everyone can see the screen, right? So let's see that you go to RAM. When you search in commercial property, the same way you do the residential, here is the residential by preset. So here I will do search. So basically, according to your client needs, right? You need to do the search, set the criteria. Here we see location. I did the location first. Let's do the location, maybe Toronto. And for sale, for sure, it's for sale available. We only do it available. If you want to do some lease, a different way, right? That's done. And we go to the, it's not for freehold. Here, look here, we need to do commercial, close the freehold. That's the way I set at all the time category. That means when you search something, what the client want, they want to do investment, do the investment, right? So what kind of investment they want to do, like commercial retail or whatever, you can do the commercial retail as well here. Select this two. So you will see the listing over there already. So let's close this one. Going to the next one, price range. That's why I said, when you qualify your client, you need to know what's the price range they're looking for, right? So we say for sale, what's price range will be, let's say my client looking for something over $1 million. Normally they go by $1 million, right? So you can get price range. You can do 1 million to start. The maximum is say, oh, they don't have too much money, they may go up to 3 million. So let's see, up to $3 million. So that's a property set already. It's a lot of properties there already. So in this way, you can more filters. If you want to do again from here, whatever you need to do, you search the type of property and what's sale. You can set everything, right? From here, the category, I said already. So you can do what? Only commercial, right? You can say set commercial. The use, you can set it even better for use, whatever you can do, right? Zoning, commercial as well. So this commercial use. So in this way, there's a lot of listing there, right? And if you want more specific, you can do whatever you need it to. So here I can think maybe in category for the use. We can use something retail, commercial retail, or let's say retail. For leasing or use, probably often not good. You can do recreation. So you can do retail. So in this way, oh, nothing here. I don't know why. Let's do it again here, reset. So probably we take out the commercial category. Now let's see what we have here. Something category. Retail, we don't need retail. Now we get a lot of, okay, let's make something first. You see, that's a commercial property here. That's not easy to realize this. So what you can do, you can do setting. You need to do the broker floor sheet. So if you see, look like this, it will be easy for you to see, right? So that one sheet, it was easy for you to look at that. Look at this one. We go one by one, okay? We find something, then we do the offer right away. So this one, look at here. They're asking for 1 million something, right? And other thing, I don't want to touch this too much. That square footage, that's another way you have to make sure the client look like. Here, what I'm looking for, what kind of the income they're making. Look at this one, they did not make anything, right? So not a good one. In this way, what you can do, skip out. And otherwise, unless you notice the location. So we go to another one. If we go a few of them, then we go back to the offer. So here again, there's pricing already here, and then nothing they mention. They have the size already. They don't mention here. That's the price, the income, what the net income, what the profit. They don't have anything here, right? Again, I'm moving on. So this is another one, and also they never mention anything unless you know the location, you see that's the right property. So I will find something that to see is good for us to see. And I got the couple listings here. I will show you soon. Let me see. Okay, let's move on. I find something that's easy for us to read it. So this one again, nothing, because what I'm looking for here. Not good for me. Okay, this is another property. So again, nothing. Oh, look at here. I found something. Let's see. They're asking 1.1 million. And look at here, the client remark. Let's read it. I don't know whether it's right or not. The cap rate, look, 8.18. Look at there. That's called the cap rate. So that means they have a good income, right? In this location, I don't know whether it's possible, really. It's a downtown Davenport. Wow, it's a good one. As I said, in downtown, normally 4.5 or 4% cap rate. So this one, they have really, it's amazing, right? Look at here. So anyway, we come back later on. So if you really want to see, check with the listing agency what the really is making. Let's move on another one. But I found something that they have income there and gross income. Let's find that one. You not see anything here? Nothing here. A lot of listening, they never put anything numbers there. So if I list the property, commercial property for sale, I will easily make sure what gross income, what operating cost, and what the net income will be. So here, nothing here. Let's go this way. Let me make one listing easy for us, okay? The listing number, let me see. E119599961. Yeah, got this one. Look, this one. So that's the one I'm supposed to help everyone to take a quick look, and later we do the offer based on this listing. Look here, they're asking 1.95. That's the pricing. So they did not mention the size, whatever, right? Because that's a similar apartment building. What we are looking for, because the client looking for investment. You see that so far the occupant, the tenant. So in this way, I want to make sure what they are making. So let's go move on here. Look it down here. See. Hmm? Looks like not this right one. 1.02. Yeah, this one. How come they did not show anything here? Gross income. In my listing, they have the income there. Let me see. We can find out. Ooh, it's interesting. Let me check it. Oh, for sure. No, that's full. So this property ask is not seen here. I have funny. Listen, do you know why? They have listen. They showed here, but not showed on the listening here on the screen. The gross income. No, no, it's not new. I want to see the new one. Never, never. Problem. Second one. Yeah, this. Oh, yes, really smart. I got something here. Okay, let's take a quick look here. We're going to pre-offer for this one. Look here. That's what I'm looking for. The gross income. Look here. 121,935. You see the operating cost. Look here. They have 39,893. So that's the net income. Look, the net income here, 82,000. So based on the net income, you divide by the purchase price. Can anyone tell me what's cap rate there? So based on this one, you will see the cap rate. Anyone? Let me see. So that's the way you work on the pricing, right? What cap rate? 82042 divide by the asking how much? 1.9. 1925000. You see this cap rate 4.26. If anyone can work out that way. So in this way, you will see whether it's reasonable or not. As a listing agent say, oh, in this area, we made 4.5 or 4, whatever. As a buyer agent say, oh, 4.26 is too low. I need 5%. So you use 5%, get back to work out the offering price. So we see what pricing will be. So can anyone tell me? So that's the way you work out, all right? So because a lot of property listing here, I've got 62 listing, we cannot go one by one. So this is the one based on this. I think we need to put offer in, right? So let's go quickly. How can you put offer in for this one? My client say, oh, that's the right one. We are going to put offer. So they're asking 1.9, and my client said, use my a corporation to buy this property. So in this way, let's go how to do the offer. So go to here at the bottom, look at here. So everyone the same like residential. Go to work form. You are going to generate, prepare the offer. The offer already, the address already there. So what you need to do, the template is set the commercial property for sale. Commercial freehold offer to purchase. So we can use 5A. Look at this one. So MS number is already there as well. So let's create. So you will see here, we don't need to fill out here the same as residential when you prepare offer. You go to forms. So look at when you click on form, the package already here. Look, BRA, you need the old one, commercial manager purchase. That's the old form. You can use the new form. So 631, 630, old form already here. So I will not go touch one by one. So let's see what other form. The important for us here today is the offer, how to get the offer done. So the offer will be used 500, right? So let's move on, open the form. That's why I need to go quickly for fill the form that there's later on when you really do the real offer, please let me know. So let's say the day will be today's day. You can whatever do the today's day, right? It's April the 16th. So important, that's what I'm going to show. The people say, I want to use the corporation to buy, not my personal. So what you can do, let's say I'm the buyer. So it will be David for a corporation to be incorporated. So that's the buyer's name. That means when the property is firm, and I will ask I will go to the register my corporation, use the corporation to proceed for the later the offer. So the lawyer will help me to proceed for complete the deal. So again, when you do the mortgage, you also use a corporation name for the mortgage, right? So that's the thing you need to do. So other things I will not touch too much here. And you know the buyer's name, that's important. So other thing you need to fill out later on as whatever you do, right? Here you make sure a lot of people missing here, 70 feet by 130 feet. If you're missing that, look at here. A lot of people make mistake. If you don't put anything, the people will assume you meter, even by meter. So the buyer maybe come back, hey, David, you did not put anything, maybe 70 feet meter, not the feet. If you don't do that, maybe a lot of argument later on. Don't miss it, okay? The same thing like residential as well. Here, the pricing. So they're asking 1.9 based on based on the cap rate, maybe I can offer them 180,000 first, 1.8, maybe just for example, okay? Deposit always will be upon acceptance. So the deposit will be 5% of the purchase at least. So normally 5% will be 60, 70,000. Let's see, 5%. You can use 75,000, right? So payable listing brokerage for sure. Okay, so that's kind of thing you need to know. And schedule again, they have even have schedule B, then use schedule B, or you have schedule C, you have also add schedule C as well. And for irrevocable, of course, you have to reprint the buyer when you need a buyer until 11:59, most cases, UPPM. And the day will be normally commercial, you need at least 2 to 3 days or even 4 days. Let's say those 3 days, right? And completion day, at least 2 to 3 months. So you make sure at because the mortgage, right, you need time for that. So let's say July the 1st, I can do that, right? Completion day. And here, let's move on. The title search again will be those kind of things you figure out whatever is included, we put it there later, right? Because we have too much to do about it. And here I can share with you this number 7. Remember, the offer did not say whether HST whether HST included or not. So in many cases, commercial property for selling, for buying, we always said HST in addition to, not included. So otherwise, the seller will pay CRA HST. So in this case, number 7, the same thing like you buy farmland, some commercial farmland, commercial use. So HST say included or in addition to, always in addition to. The only thing is if you use this clause, number 7, that means the seller has HST account with CRA. The buyer needs to register the HST with CRA as well. So in this way, you call it joint election. Joint election, that means on closing day, the seller will not collect HST from the buyer. The buyer does not need to pay HST on closing. So buyer's lawyer will make sure for that. So some lawyer, of course, we're talking about commercial real estate lawyer. They know how to deal with that. So in that case, before your closing, make sure the buyer to register with CIA HST account. If you don't have HST account, you have to pay seller the HST on closing. That's very, very important. Please make sure this. So that's why I stress on this number 7. All right. So other things here title search will be let's say 2 weeks before closing. Maybe we're talking about July. So it will be June, let's say 1 week, 2 weeks. Let's make whatever 16. Yeah, you can do it 16. So that's the way for sure. So this one for the use also you have make sure a lot of agents missing this one, blank or whatever. You have make sure this one is commercial commercial investment or commercial. I think this is for apartment building. Yeah, this is apartment. So we say commercial apartment. If you don't put something like this, let's say like this apartment is different, right? When you buy properties for a restaurant, the operating restaurant, you don't say commercial retail, commercial food related. So later on, the buyer say, hey, David, I want to buy for a restaurant property. Why you use this for retail? Then you're in trouble, right? So make sure existing use already operating under sales. I mean, so far for renting or whatever, you have to make sure the use is falling through to your client. The client, that's what they're looking for. Otherwise, they can come back to you, right? So that's not right. That's something here already. So let's say the schedule A, moving on. There's few things I need to point out because we cannot go by everything. So this content already built in. If you are landmark agent, it's already, we build in the condition clause there already. So you need to modify, read through with the client, explain to the client one by one. Then you need to add something, modify something, whatever you need to do. Two important issue I have to make sure here because too many stuff there. The important I have to point out. Number one condition, look here. This financing. So this financing, that's mortgage. So the financing will be from banker, lender. So in this way, this bank for mortgage application, it will take for a long time, not like residential 5 banking days. Here I use 25 banking days. That means almost a month. Some people will ask, not enough, right? Some people say not enough, 25. Probably sometimes we use 60 days, depends, okay? So you need to talk to your client. Did you get a pre-approval? If yes, shorter time, 25, 30. If not, maybe it takes them 60 days for sure. So this is the condition to protect your client. Make sure, okay? The number one condition. Number two condition, you need inspection because downtown building, a lot of building is old, some of them 100 years old, right? You need to make sure qualified commercial inspector, not residential inspector, because there's a lot of buildings, they have rooftop, air conditioning, HVAC system, the defense system, so you need a commercial inspector, okay? So that's the second condition in the offer. So let's see another condition that also very important is we always just say this one may be, again, you need it. Because some people say, I won't buy the product for my own use. What kinds of use they want to do? Just as I said, if they want to use, I want to open up my restaurant in future after tenant gone. So they have to make sure that the buyer's tenant have their own use. So the intended use have to follow with the city. Go to the city hall with a permit department and say, hey, I'm looking for this property to change the use, existing use. I want to use for my restaurant, open a restaurant, coffee shop after a month or two or so after closing or whatever. So make sure it's really allowed by the city. If not allowed it, not permitted, what's the point you're going to buy this property, right? So that's another important condition, okay? And again, one more condition here. We call this candidate what? Let's see. The lawyer condition, just let's move on. I'm not using this computer, I'm using my own better. Yeah, here the condition will be for lawyer, the lawyer review and approve. So that's an important condition because sometimes commercial property, some properties is very complicated. The lawyer needs to see all the documents, right? So this condition will be protected by after offer accepted. I need to send this offer to my lawyer for review, approve. If they find something wrong, something needed, we need to come back to modify it, right? So this condition we need it. Again, I use for 25 banking days. The reason is I need to make sure the bank will approve my mortgage. So if the bank does not approve my mortgage, what's the point? I need the lawyer to review first, right? I need to pay maybe $500, $700 for review my offer. That's not worth it. So I will make sure the mortgage more or less will be approved. Then I will get the lawyer to review and approve this offer. So that's the one very important. Make sure, okay? So basically, that's all the condition in the offer. Of course, there's something more you need to add whatever you need to sometimes, right? So in this way, we don't have much time to do anything. So I will forget about this one. But only thing I can tell you one thing. Let me see another condition. Just now we mentioned about by intended use. Let's see. By intended use. By, let's see. That's the second condition, I think. Let me see. Obtained by qualified by number 3. Okay, this condition. Let me go back this condition. So sorry. Oh. So the buyer's intended use condition. This condition, sometimes I remember I did the one offer, one Korean sailor property. So I use only one condition to cover everything. They called due diligence condition. So if you need that something like, please let me know. This condition will be due diligence condition within, let's say, 30 days. So including lawyer review, mortgage financing, inspection, and architect, everything you put to one condition. So in this way, we will make your offer clean. Only, let's say, not too many pages, only maybe 5, 6 pages only. So in that way, you can make it easy for you to work on that. But that condition is not good for sailor listing agent. That means they don't know the step by step, right? So that's another not a good idea, disadvantage for some other for listing agent. For buy agent, of course, I need 60 days to do everything, inspection, lawyer review, and financing, whatever put there. So that sometimes depends on how you work on. You need to communicate with the listing agent. So make sure the both parties possibly work hard on that way. So that's an offer we are talking about. Again, as a commercial offer is very complicated, a lot of issue, a lot of condition call clauses there. So need to make sure to read through with your client, explaining well to your client to make sure you can modify or change something, whatever. Because some buyer will say, oh, David, I need this, I need that. So you make sure, according to the client, put everything inside the Schedule A. So we cannot talking about, I mean, everything, one standard form is impossible. So case by case, that's the way we have to work on. So that's the way, I mean, the offer based on that the listing, that's offer we generated. Yeah. So again, if too much to talk about it, even the 2 hours, 3 hours, we cannot finish it. So far, I have to stop here and make sure that the process everyone knows, and we see goes through, of course, a lot of questions for sure from time to time. So you can call us, approach us, and whenever you need help, we can go through with you. We can review in your offer as well. Okay, so I believe another 10 minutes for question and answer. So anything, we can open your mic, we can talk about it. Let me stop the sharing, and let's go for the question period. Okay, let's start. Any question I can answer you now. Thank you.